Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Miller from Parent Dome. I broadcast on multiple social media platforms, and I talk about how to keep kids safe in a digitally immersed life. I've got 700, 800 broadcasts that are on Periscope and other social media platforms. I do a radio program over the internet on Friday evenings. My message is primarily talking to parents and caregivers about the dangers, risks, threats, and permanence of what is going on in the internet. My three triumvirate topics that I talk about start with awareness as to what is really going on in the internet, what does oversight look like, and how you set appropriate controls. And this is from a parental standpoint. You have to make these decisions based upon the emotional, psychological, and relationship that you have with your children. And I say, trust, but verify. And because the internet is outside the parents' awareness and visibility, children are left to run and just experience what they want to experience unchecked, not aware of how dangerous it is, how permanent it is, and how risky it is. So my actions, very good. I'm going to let you girls come on air in 1 minute. I'm just doing an introduction to let people know what is going to happen and how it's going to happen. So I will give you that moment in just a moment. So as people are familiar with me, that I participate on these social media platforms trying to pierce the conscience of parents and kids, oftentimes I am rebuked. They say, I can do what I want. It's my business. It's my life. And I totally agree. You can absolutely do that. But as I talk about certain topics about don't streaming and driving and about how prostitution is happening on live streaming platforms, people rebuke me out of ignorance. They don't understand how public it can be, how permanent it can be until it actually happens. The terms I use, the toothpaste is out of the tube. That people can go along and do these things and feel that they are free from the consequences until it hits their radar and they're like, oh my gosh, it's bad. So I do this and I have broadcast and I shared on my chat room a link to my Facebook page on Parent Dome to show people the evidence of this poor decisioning and the permanence that's happening on the internet. Well, today I have 3 young ladies that had to come into the crosshairs of a broadcast that I saw, that I shared on Twitter, allowed my followers to see what was happening, to see the evidence in what I refer to as a bait scope. These are girls, mostly young teenage girls, that go on Periscope, not fully aware of how the whole thing operates, but they want to get hearts and followers and they want to become famous. And it's really exciting for them when the follower count really starts to increase. And they say things to entice people to come into the broadcast as a bait to get followers. Well, this is what my appearance of what happened in that broadcast. I sat in the side row for a while watching it happen as broadcasters continued to increase, as broadcasters continued to decrease, and what they were saying in order to get more followers. That's what I saw. The video that I have supports what I saw. You can draw your own conclusions based upon the video. The girls now have experienced how visible this is, that it went out on Twitter. They tried to have me take it down on Twitter. They wanted me to stop talking about it on Twitter, and they're saying, we're sorry. And I say, I understand you're sorry. You're sorry because you got caught. That's what's happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the seat to these young ladies, however many want to sit in, and explain their case and why it would be important for me to take down this video. And we're going to meet them and see what they have to say. So I'm going to open up the seats for them right now. Show my colors, accept, and accept. So I am totally fine if you don't put your faces on screen. I think that's a very wise move to do. But I do want to remind you that I'm not compelled to do anything with this video. So I am willing to talk about what it would take for me to take it down, but you can explain your case to me as to what your thoughts are.
We think that what we did was very wrong, and we realise that you are right that we did realise it after someone had put it on the internet, but I think what we have to do is try and get... Ashlyn, would you like to say something?
I don't even know. I wasn't involved in the Periscope. I just know these girls from school, from college, etc. And I just think I understand where you're coming from. We're trying to raise awareness for them, blah, blah, blah. Realising that their footprint on the internet is always going to be there. We learned this at school. We know this already. And they clearly just decided to do it for fun, or what they claim fun.
So, but did you guys not expect this to be, you knew it was permanent, right?
They knew it was permanent, but they didn't expect someone like a reaction. To have such a reaction and bait them out. If you don't know what bait means, it means basically call them out on it. Even more, than you've brought it into more people's attention when it didn't need to go this far.
We didn't think that we would get that much attention.
So tell me how many of those people in that broadcast that you knew? Of those 500 plus people that were in that broadcast, who were they?
We knew at least 100 because 100 of them went to my school.
So of the 400 people, you didn't know those 400 or additional 500 people that came into the broadcast?
Yeah, once they came in, obviously, we started noticing that the view count was going up.
Bearing in mind, not one of them showed any skin.
So are you saying that this wasn't a problem because he didn't show any skin? Is that what you're telling?
No, but we didn't expect anything to be blown out of such proportion. We didn't intend on it, but we know we did something wrong, and we just want people to know that what we did.
Stop trying to piss off Rhiannon.
Fuck's sake!
No, the reality of it is, I think, yes, they're in the wrong, obviously, for broadcasting it in the first place, but I think you're in the wrong for making it.
No shit.
I don't care.
I'm in the wrong for having come into the room. Is that what I just heard somebody saying?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And those 400 people, do you know that they came in for the right reasons?
No, they probably didn't. But the thing is, they never gave them what they came in to look for. It is, as you said, bait. It's just bait. And that's what they try to do, is get more followers and more viewers. Nothing to do with showing skin. And you're making it out as if to say that they've done a porno.
I'm not making it out other than the title said it in itself. You said what you were doing at the broadcast. Was that true or was
We
that
didn't do it.
Wait a minute, bear with me. Were you lying then or are you lying now? What point were you lying? When you typed the title?
Clearly, the minute they thought of the title, they were lying. I don't think these girls have respect for themselves, yes. And I understand that where you're coming from when you say that putting that title is luring and trying to get people to watch it. But
Did you read the comments in the broadcast?
No.
Yes, I did.
You did. Oh, so were those encouraging you to support and honor what you did in the title, or were they saying, "Oh, we're going to leave unless you show us more"?
Well, some people, funnily enough, said not to. People were like, "Don't do it. Have respect for yourself." Blah blah blah. And then others were obviously the perverts or the horny little teenagers.
So here's an interesting thing that you should be aware of: the people that were making those comments came in because of my Twitter feed. I shared that.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Nope, not all of them.
50 people.
Nope.
People were saying that. You came in. What was his followers when you came in? How many viewers were there when you came in?
I saw it fluctuate. When I came in, it was under 300, and I saw you go up as high as 600, and then I saw you drop off.
Okay.
Because you weren't keeping their attention upon showing them enough skin. You were dancing. You were shaking it.
Shaking it.
But that's obviously what you were trying to do. You were trying to increase people coming into the broadcast. You put in the title. I don't know if the title was true or not.
And that was our intention, but we didn't think that it was wrong. We didn't think that you.
And we still don't think it was wrong.
Very good. That's exactly what I needed you to say. That's exactly what I needed you to say. You don't think it's wrong, and that's fine. There's no consequence if you don't think anything was wrong about what you were doing. So the video room, since you don't think you did anything wrong and there's no consequence for what you do wrong, The video will just stay out there. That's totally fine. I'm cool with that.
That's fine with us because not one of us showed any skin. I would understand if someone showed them.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Or
You girls lied. You girls lied.
people lie all damn time.
I know they do. And it sucks, doesn't it? It sucks when a lie comes to your face and you're held accountable to it. I wish your parents were having this conversation with you instead of me. My goal is to get to your parents, that they could have some wisdom to what their kids are doing and the poor choices they're making, that there's consequences for them. But your parents are not part of this conversation.
That's a difference between generations. They understand the dangers of the internet. They do. They tell us about it.
Very good, so they can see it firsthand.
We're on the internet. We've got smartphones, on Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, everything.
So,
but we're not. Go on, carry on.
So here's the thing. My business is about trying to talk to parents about the dangerous risks and threats of the permanence of the internet. You heard me in the intro. I'm trying to draw their attention. Yeah, there's a generational gap. Parents don't think their kids are getting in trouble. I agree with you that 96% of parents say it's not my kid until my kid is caught on Periscope baiting people to come into a broadcast by saying that they're going to show skin. All right, you showed skin. You didn't show private skin, but you showed skin. And that now all of a sudden somebody's got a copy of that video. It got out a little bit further than you hoped it would get. And I'm saying, shame on you, parents. It's your parents' problem. They're letting you do this stuff unchecked. And this affects your future. That's their issue. You can have your mom come on here.
I don't have a mom.
Okay, do you have a father?
No, I don't.
So are you under the care of someone else in the foster care system? Because I can summon someone from the foster care system to come in.
I'm living with my auntie.
Okay, well then I can have your auntie have a conversation.
She's not here.
Okay, well this video is being recorded, so she has the ability to see what we talked about. And if she wants to have a conversation with me, I can do that privately. You girls said it.
Sorry we troubled you.
That's okay. That's okay. There's no trouble to me, girls. It's no trouble to me whatsoever. I'm just trying to help you guys make wise choices in the future. Right now, you don't feel you did. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm going to leave the video up there because you honestly don't feel you did anything wrong.
I think we do understand that we did wrong. You said we lied. We made people come in.
We understand, but we didn't think we did anything wrong at the time. But now we understand that we did something wrong. So if we were showing more skin, does that mean we weren't in the wrong? Because we weren't.
So, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I hear what you're trying to say to me, that we didn't think we were wrong then. Right now, you're going to tell me that you're going to think you're wrong, so in an effort to have me take down the video. But I truly believe in your heart, you don't think you did anything wrong.
At first, we didn't.
And I still think you hold on to that because you're trying to explain that I didn't show skin. And you think that that behavior is only tied to just showing skin. And it's not.
So that's what you're trying to get the point across.
No, that's not. I could edit the skin out. I don't care about the skin. I'm just talking about behavior of young girls on the internet and what they do.
But there's boys on there too. But
absolutely. They get my crosshairs. That's why I put my link up on my page. I have a video of a 16-year-old boy driving in the snow without his seatbelt on that almost wrecked into a tree, into a telephone pole because he was scoping and driving. He's younger than you. He's younger than you. He decided to push the go live broadcast.
Can I call you Ryan?
Yeah, well, you can tell me what.
Can I call you Ryan?
You may. Sure.
Ryan, I think that what we did was wrong. Me and Ashley and Diana both agree that we were wrong, but we didn't think that we were in the wrong in the first place because we thought we were just telling an innocent lie. Because no girl of our age is likely to just show out their skin. So I think that if we did show our skin, it would be slightly better because that's what you're kind of putting across. But it's upsetting knowing that we won't be able to
did you not
have
lift
that video taken off.
Did not the one girl lift up her shirt and show her sports bra? Didn't she do that in the video, or are we having a memory of convenience?
But that's the sports bra.
It's a sports bra. Women go to the gym in sports bra and short.
Men go out.
I understand. But you're trying to tell me you didn't show skin, and you're trying to justify it by what other people do.
We didn't show our like nipples or our provocative areas. That's not what we did.
But that's what you were telling people you were going to do.
No, she said she would.
Basically,
why
I
take her top off.
understand what people are saying when they say that you are trying to make us see a point, and I see 2 points. One, that we were wrong for even lying to them, trying to lure them into thinking that we were going to do that in the first place. But also, I kind of feel that you're saying that if we did show more skins, it wouldn't be as bad because we weren't lying.
No, that's not my point. My point is, when you approach a social media platform and you make a text, you make a post, you make a video, and it is public, that children don't have the wisdom as to what the consequences could be based upon their behavior, based upon it being public. You didn't anticipate the consequences. You just did.
We didn't.
You didn't think about the consequences. So you are no different than anybody else in the world of the internet, adults included. You just happened to cross my radar that you didn't put 2 and 2 together, that of those 600 people in the broadcast, maybe somebody else is recording it. And I can tell you now that there are other copies of that video out there, not just me.
Please delete yours, because that's the only copy that we know of right now.
I can tell you what you know is very limited as to what is happening on the internet being video recorded.
I'm coming down in 1 minute.
So the fact that you don't want it to be recorded, hide your faces. I don't need to see your faces. That the fact that you don't want it to be recorded is an issue, but you have no control over that, because when you hit that start broadcast button, you're telling the world, when I say the world, you have no idea who in the world is going to tune into that this is what we want to show the world, and whatever the world does with it, you don't care. That's what you're saying, because it's public. And you pretty much, you behaved in that way, that we're going to do what we want to do, and we don't think there's any consequences for what we're going to do. All of a sudden, now you have them. And that's unfortunate. But you're no different. You just happen to show up on my radar. That's why I put the Facebook page. A lot of people ping my radar because I'm trying to get the parents.
Basically, put his Facebook page.
Who is this? Who is that? Adna Holmesy, I don't know who you are. There you go. I don't know who you are trying to come to this broadcast.
Allow her.
Ryan.
Yeah.
We just want to say that we're asking you very politely to please delete that video, because we realized that
the 2 periscopes in which you named Dana, and I don't mean just name her first name, named her second name, and I understand that was her user, but
I just want all of our stuff to be deleted, because we realized that what we did was wrong, but now calling
you still don't. Here's the challenge for you girls. Whatever you identify yourself in social media, the other people have to just reflect that identity. So the fact that somebody's name was in their title and I read it, you don't know what the terms of service of Periscope and Twitter are. You can't tell me what I can and cannot say.
It's between us deleted, because we realized what we did was wrong.
Yeah, but I'm not deleting my broadcasts. That's ridiculous.
No, don't delete your broadcasts.
You are named in there. That is correct. You have social media profiles where you chose to use your name, and as they are right now. That's how you present yourself to the world. This is your social media LinkedIn profile as to what you ladies are. That's what it is. So if you chose to use your personal name, everything that you've done on social media is attached to that. Maybe your Instagram account, maybe your Snapchat account, maybe you now, who knows? You guys have made these decisions to participate in whatever form in those platforms, not understanding. You heard your teachers talk about the permanence of the internet, but you didn't connect the dots that, yeah, it's really permanent.
Say that,
So
say
my-
that again.
You have made your own decisions in advance as to how you want to present yourself on the internet. So I have no responsibility as to the decisions you make on how you present yourself on the internet. Whatever name you choose, I'm going to call you that name. That's how you're presenting yourself to me.
Okay, that's fine. But what about you said that if we came on this thing and we admitted what we did was wrong, you would delete what we did. But you're
And
not.
I said
sticking by
more
your
than
word.
just that. I said more than just that. I said that you had to show me that you had had a changed behavior and that you would be an
And how the
advocate
hell
for
are they
others.
meant to show you we've had
So-
changed behaviour?
I honestly, the level of information that I have based upon what you've told me thus far is that you want me to take it down because you got caught. I get that. Everybody in the world would want that video taken down because they got caught. But do I think you're going to start a broadcast tomorrow that's going to be also a bad decision? Maybe.
No, it will not.
I don't know that. I don't know that
We
because
wouldn't
you're
do
telling me
that.
that you're explaining to me that I didn't show skin. I don't know that you won't come up with some other broadcasts that you're going to start making prank phone calls and you're going to tell me, well, everybody else does it. Well, everybody else is stupid. If you start making prank phone calls, who knows what you'll do
If you look
next?
at my broadcast, you will see that I just make food. I've made fajitas, I've made meringues, I've made
Pizza.
cakes and pizza.
And makeup tutorials. No, you're
No,
not.
that's on yours.
Oh yeah, that's on mine.
So you're
That
going to
is it.
broadcast yourself making fajitas and pizzas and meringue. Good for you. And you're going to have those strangers come into the broadcast again. And what are they going to ask you to do? Show me
Make
what?
pizzas.
Are they going to say, show me the tomatoes for the pizza that you're making? Or are they going to ask you to show them something else? What are they going to ask you to show
because
them?
it wasn't me that
Open
showed
what?
anything.
Open what? Open what did they say? Do you know what I'm talking
I
about?
have
What do
to
they
go to
say?
dinner
Open
now.
what?
Wait, someone said yeah, it's fine. Wait, come on, see if I can get it on.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't hear.
So when you go and you do that broadcast and you're showing them how to make pizza and meringue, and you have the internet strangers come into your broadcast because you got lots of followers from that broadcast, didn't you? Those
Yeah, but I
new
blocked
followers
them
are going to
all.
come into this broadcast and they're going to see you and they're going to say, open what? What do they say?
They're probably going to want
No.
to see some things, and I will say no.
They
Because
asked to see your fajitas.
Fajitas.
What are they called? Fajitas or fajitas?
Fajitas.
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 But what is it
Vagina.
that those broadcasters were saying in that broadcast to you if you happen to glance at those comments?
But if they did say that, I wouldn't do it purely because I've learned my lesson.
But you're willing to go on broadcast again and still engage in that conversation with those people, those strangers, into your home. Do you know what else about that broadcast which is a bit unique?
What?
Do you want to sit down? Because this is a little creepy. This is a little creepy.
Go on.
Your location settings were turned on. So not only did you invite those people on Periscope to come and watch your broadcast, you told them exactly where you were broadcasting from within 1 meter.
Puppet Kevin, seriously, stop. It was our choice to do that. I'm talking about the people in Ryan's bald seats. Well, fuck a bald seat.
Blabs.
Blabs.
Lab seat.
Oh.
Was I missing conversation on the side, Puppet Kevin? Oh, that's all right. They can give them likes. That doesn't matter to me, Kevin. That's of no consequence. They could have 1 million likes over what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Is anyone else trying to call in? Because I am more than welcome for people to speak their opinion on top of yours.
I'm on 10%, so I might have to
Kevin,
leave.
Puppet Kevin, want to join?
Sorry, I'm on 10%, so I'm just going to have to talk on Ashlyn's.
That's fine. I can hear you both through the one broadcast anyway. I know you're both in the same room. So the one thing I wanted you to be aware of, that not only were you broadcasting something that was, as you're finding out, dangerous, you put a big bullseye as to exactly where you were broadcasting from to tell those 600 people exactly where you were.
How old are you?
Irrelevant. I'm a parent.
How old you are? Has anything like this happened to you? Where a guy is sitting there talking about you, baiting your life out.
Baiting your life out.
Do you see what I'm
Oh,
saying?
so let me tell you what I have seen on here if you want to know the truth. I've seen a young girl do multiple broadcasts that had 10 times as many followers than I do on Periscope, and that her videos, people were recording her videos, cross-purposing those videos and putting them on the deep web. After that, somebody put a bounty on this young girl, and the young girl was kidnapped and she is vanished off the face of the earth.
Are we all
That's the
gonna
kind of
keep
stuff
this
that I see.
trying to say?
What? What?
I'm not repeating it.
I didn't hear what you said.
Don't worry then. I just don't understand. I understand that what we did was wrong, yes, but I don't understand why you've got your followers involved in something.
That's what the platform makes available. The fact that you made a poor choice and you were concerned about who would possibly see it is after the fact. That's after the fact. You didn't care when you did it. What?
The broadcasting around it. Why couldn't you literally just go, you know what, they made a mistake. Let me put on Twitter that they made a mistake. You didn't then have to think, shit, let's go do a Periscope. Let's go broadcast their life even more. Why not put it on my Twitter so everyone else can come and watch it? You couldn't just leave it alone.
I feel like it would.
You want me to leave it alone. You want me to leave it alone. That's what you didn't know. It just so happened to be
I
me.
understand what we did was wrong, yes. Oh,
You
but
understood
you're not-
after the fact. You understood after you got caught.
by baiting it out even more.
You understand after you got caught. You
No.
blocked me after you found out I shared it. You blocked me.
We understood after we stopped the Periscope.
What
Because-
caused you to stop the Periscope?
We thought that this is getting out of hand.
Actually,
We
let's
don't
just leave it
like-
left the room.
Yeah, right. What happened was your followers were dropping off. You found out it was shared. There was more people that were coming into the broadcast that were saying things that you didn't want. And you're like, oh,
No.
crap, we better get this off. And you took it down immediately. You deleted the broadcast right after you got off. You deleted it. Even with the statement you said, come back and we'll show more. That's what you said right before you shut the broadcast down.
What did we say?
You said, come back. We're going to start again and we're going to show more. That's what you said right as you turned off.
Well, actually, I don't remember saying shit.
That's all right. I have the video that proves that.
You have the video that. What the frick frack do you mean you have the video to prove that? Did you record it?
Doesn't matter. It's public on the internet. It's public on the internet. You posted it publicly on the internet. You pressed the start broadcast. You didn't think it out. So other people have this video, not just me. Lots of people have this video.
I can 100% bet you only you and maybe one or two others recorded it.
Hello.
You thinking that it was good for your publicity to prove that it's unsafe, but you're the only.
You think so? That's pretty clever. I don't know who this person is. Who's this?
God. Say that again.
There's another person that's wanting to come in, and I'm not familiar with this person.
What's the name?
Sean Smith.
Let me.
Let him in.
I have no familiarity with him. I want to make. I'll let him come in, but I'm going to have a conversation. Sean, you're willing to take a seat here. I've seen no participation in the chat roll, so you're coming in blind. I operate my broadcast with the terms of service that come from Periscope, so you can. I'm willing to hear alternate opinions about this. You are brand new to my broadcast, so this is the first time I've seen you. So I just ask you to tread lightly. I'm willing to hear what you may have to say, but if you're going to be disruptive and or vulgar or profane, I will not continue the discussion.
Sure, you are. We've been on Blab.
So you are.
Just let him in.
Okay, Sean, I apologize. Listen, girls, this is my broadcast.
Shut the door.
It says the letter H above my name. I'm the host. I get to set the rules on how this happens.
So you're not going to let anyone in to speak their minds?
I know who Meg is,
Oh,
and
there
I'm
we
going to
are.
protect Meg from what's
Hi,
happening here.
Sean.
Meg is a minor child. Sean, how are you
How
doing?
you doing, How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing good. I apologize that I forgot that
That's fine. That's fine. You're a busy man online. I've been following your stuff. It's been great.
awesome. So have you heard what this particular broadcast is about?
Yes, I have. It's the same stuff I'm teaching in high school right now. It's
Oh, are you over on the West Coast?
bingo. There you go.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah,
So
it's-
yes, we
it's
have.
it's the same stuff I'm teaching on the West Coast right now, and it's pretty common. We're seeing that there's a real bit of disconnect in that the understanding that, oh, I've only put this out so that my friends can see it, or that only a very select few people can see it. And then they suddenly realize that, wait a minute, who's this guy in Australia that's seen it? Or who's this guy in Timbuktu
Turkey.
who's seen it? Or Turkey.
Yeah.
It's the only and best way that I've ever been able to describe using social media is standing in a corner with a bullhorn and a sign that says, "Don't look at me."
Yeah, right. Right. Right.
and it doesn't work that way. I mean, here we are right here on Blab, and I don't think you can get a much more open environment of video right there.
John?
And here we are. We're sitting
So
here
what
talking
would-
about
what
stuff
would
in a
you
global
say-
environment.
Young ladies, what would you say to them? Because I'll explain how this transpired.
Mhm.
They did a broadcast where they titled it that if we get this amount of followers, we will show something. So it was what I refer to as a bait scope. That
Yeah.
I'm going to get people to attend this broadcast with the hopes that they're going to see something in the future. And that they didn't do that, but they increased the numbers to help entice people to bring more people into the broadcast. I show up to the
Rams do it all the time.
Oh gosh, yes,
Yeah.
yes. They're not unique than any other teen girl out there. They're not. They just happen to cross my radar. So when I come into the broadcast, I see this behavior going on, and I share it on Twitter. That's available on Periscope. I share it on Twitter. I let my viewers see this is what another example of a bait scope looks like, and here are some teen girls participating in it. Then other things happened, and they shut down the broadcasts because their followers started going down. They made the offer that they'll show something more and they'll start a new broadcast. But apparently they may have got a little bit of wisdom with some of the comments that were coming in that they should stop that broadcast. And I think one of the triggers was when they saw it go up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Now, I do what I do. And as an advocate, I have multiple tools and resources at my disposal because I'm on Periscope, I'm on Blab, and I shared it and I made a comment on it. Here's an example of kids, and they blocked me on Twitter because they didn't want that visibility on Twitter. So be it. But the fact that they blocked me does not stop the momentum of what is happening on Twitter.
Not even a
They
little.
think they stopped it, and then now they're trying to ask me to take video elements down, and I'm like why?
Yeah, and that's I don't think. I think the greatest thing about social media is also the worst thing about social media. The greatest thing about social media
wanna
is
say
being
something.
able to reach out and connect and be a part of the conversation and
You
draw
gotta
people into
create-
your conversation.
Say something, please.
Yes,
by all
sure,
means.
man.
Well, I want to say something first, and then Dana.
Sure.
Who's this Leah guy and why Leah girl and why she's tagging me saying you're? Can you please explain yourself, Leah? And then there you go, Dana.
Yeah. Is it Sean?
Yes.
Yeah. But you do get where we're coming from, why we want it taken down.
Oh no, I do. I do.
You're
I totally understand that.
teacher, so you understand that this is not fair, it being published even more than it already has.
What happens, Sean? Let's put this into perspective. Let's say one of your students came to you and said, "Okay, we made a mistake on Periscope. Look, we did this, right?
Mhm.
Ryan's already explained what we've done, but now a man from Twitter has made a Periscope about us, and now also made a Blab and invited us to have what you say a discussion, which is kind of
So we
edging
can
towards
delete
an
what we've
argument."
done.
To then be like, "Here, why?" I don't
Okay.
understand.
Well, here, let me explain how part of this works, girls. As a teacher, all right, as a person who teaches social media in schools, I totally agree. I think if you've realized you've made the mistake, then the need for you to see that mistake resolved or fixed or somehow alleviated is going to be paramount in your mind. You want to have that removed, even if I was the person who did this, even if I was the person who shared this, even if I was the person who recorded it or what have you, I can take it down and say, you know, you're right. I've got to remove it. But that does not mean it's gone. Right?
We
Yeah,
understand that, but it's gone in one form and one level of the
In
internet.
only one level. I mean,
if people want to dig deeper and go into the next level to try and find this video, by all means go and do it. But I don't think many people have the time or even want to look for a teenage girl who comes from England and look for a Periscope they did. Could be in a year, it could be in a week, it could be God knows when. They wouldn't take the time or the effort to do
okay,
that.
let me give you an example. Okay, and this is an example that I use in the classes that I teach. Particularly right now, I'm teaching LinkedIn to grade 10 girls and boys at a high school.
That's great, by the way, Sean. That's great.
We had a federal election here in Canada late last year. One of the candidates was a 21-year-old university student, really educated, really dynamic, really interesting, very well-spoken, very attractive young woman with just the whole world out in front of her. Absolutely the whole world out in front of her. As it turned out, the party that she was running with won the election. Had it not been for the fact that a tweet that she had done 4 years earlier, when she was living in Kuala Lumpur and going to high school in grade 11, had it not been for that tweet, she would have been sitting in the parliament today as a 22-year-old member of parliament. The tweet was awful. And she thought, and she'd even said in an interview, she thought that she had done enough purging of her old footprint to be rid of it. But the other party dug deep where she didn't even think they were going to look. And they found it, and it destroyed her. Her friends didn't know the tweet still existed. The party that she was running for didn't know it existed. If people want to look and they want to look deep, they will look deep, and you don't know who's going to do it. That's the bad side of social. It's never really
but
gone.
Surely, that came up, we were getting a job, and let's say they found out that, oh shit, they had a Periscope of a girl pretending to lure in boys, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Wouldn't you then just explain to yourself, look, I understand that that's wrong, but if you actually watch it, no one actually showed any skin, or if they did, it wasn't much skin. It's not like it's a bloody porno kind of thing. We did it. It was a mistake, and I'm pretty sure they made mistakes when we were teenagers.
Absolutely.
They're probably not perfect either.
No, absolutely. I mean, I have often said, I am so glad that we didn't have social media when I was in the Army.
Absolutely.
Oh wow, that would have been just awful.
Absolutely.
But
let me
you have to
comment
remember,
to that
it's
point.
perception.
Let me
It's
just comment to
perception.
this point to the young girls that you found out because of this particular encounter that it was wrong. It's just merely circumstance that I came into that broadcast. Let me finish. If I had not come into this broadcast, there's no basis that I could assume that you wouldn't do another broadcast that was another bait type of scope because you had so much success on this scope. The only basis to which you are contemplating that this is a problem is based upon my involvement. As an advocate to bring awareness to it, you had no awareness to this reality until you crossed my path. Now, have I not crossed your path? Who knows what broadcast I may have stumbled into yours from next week, next month, or 6 months from now, and what kind of image you may be already presented on the internet. And then I find you doing something a little bit more risque.
I understand that if someone stumbled across it, that the one Periscope that was one Periscope, they're going to stumble across it. You've made it a bigger deal than it is. If you just said DM'd us saying, do you realize it was wrong, blah blah blah, maybe just quieting it down instead of 2 Periscopes, 1 blab, how many tweets you did.
Let me ask this question.
That's making it a focus point of it, and it didn't need to be a focus point.
Those people that said that into your broadcast, what did you say to them?
Said what into
hey, you girls shouldn't be doing that.
We just didn't respond. We didn't respond to anyone who said anything.
So what is a person to do when I try to communicate to you that you shouldn't do this? Did you know I was in there under another account before I came in under Parent Dome? No, of course not. So I came in another account prior to coming in as Parent Dome, and I made some comments which you ignored. So you obviously were not considerate of those comments coming in, and you were going to continue the behavior absent of any warning. So that's your
Were you the one saying? Were you the
doesn't
one
matter.
saying,
Doesn't
"Don't
matter.
do-"
My point is what my point is.
So I have a question for you girls. Why are you doing it in the first place? Like, I'm not, it just is pure curiosity, and I mean I'm not looking to point a finger and be bad. What was the reason for doing the broadcast in the first place? Did we lose him?
Yeah, I know if we said 3 girls watching you view this, no one would come.
Okay, no, I understand that, but why are maybe let me rephrase that. Why are you on Periscope in the first place? Like, what is the drive? For myself,
Have you
part
not
of the reason.
seen the hype of Periscope recently? Pretty much everyone's on it. It is like a
Well,
Snapchat.
in
It is like
London.
Twitter. It's
Okay.
on there. You want to see what you have your town. You want to see who's periscoped in your town. See if you can see people you know.
Right.
That's the
I mean, part of the reason that I'm on here, for instance, is because I want to connect and meet new people, which I'm assuming that you want to do as well. But
Yeah.
I also do it so that I can educate people, so that I can learn more from them as well. I mean, part of the reason that I get into a platform and I use the platform is for a broader purpose than simply just to be there and have people follow me. So when you're on Periscope and you're wanting to get more people to follow you and more people to consume your content, what is the purpose of doing that? Is it just to get more followers? Is it just to get more people to see you? Or is there another reason?
That it was literally just so that we would get more followers and more viewers.
Who were the idiot? Wait, sorry, Ninja Meg 19. What are you saying about idiots?
That's okay. So let me, Ninja Meg. I'm going to ask that you be respectful to what's happening in this conversation, and don't interact with. Yes, thank you, Meg. I appreciate that.
Really, what we're trying to do is we're trying to educate post.
Yes. So Meg, allow Sean and us to do that. And just let the girls. They're trying to learn from this experience. So I'm a person of grace. So there's got to be a little bit of a process here. I'm not just immediately going to say this goes away. It doesn't go away, because this is a very valuable message. Girls, what you're talking to me is to help talk to other girls.
That's it. I mean,
there are other girls out there that are doing worse than what you did. They're twerking, they're showing their boobs. And what you did, I agree, you didn't show skin. But the power of your message, and if you are sincere with what you're doing, I will use it as a tool to talk to those girls that are doing the worst stuff.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you had in your favor was the fact that you didn't show anything.
That's huge.
And I mean, that's a good piece of restraint, I suppose.
I guess.
But,
yes.
I think at this stage, what you could probably do is you can become that advocate that says, here is evidence. We are able to draw in people with the idea that they're potentially going to see something that really, for all intents and purposes, online is inappropriate. The draw that people are going that should be the concerning thing. And now that you've got this audience, and now that you've got these people following you, you can use this. You can leverage this. You can actually go and say to people, look, here's the power. Here's the power of the internet. And here are the people that are looking to see something that really is wrong. I mean, I have two sons. I have a 14 and a 9-year-old son. And I thank the gods every day that I don't have a daughter, because I think I'd lose my mind. Because girls are hard.
And Sean, you may not have seen this, that girls, I'm not so concerned about it's how girls are using social media that is a huge risk. Okay, that's what Sean and I are talking about. It is, you're on, I use these words, which are big grown-up words, and I call it external identity locus, that people are getting a sense of approval, recognition, value, celebrity based upon how many likes they get on a photo, how many followers they have on Instagram or some other platform, the information that they share. They get a sense of self-worth as to what their social media presence is. And I'm trying to teach that that is a fake illusion. The 600 people you had in your broadcast were mostly comprised of creepos that wanted you to sexually reveal yourself. I'm trying to educate girls that take away this, people want to be more famous than they do want to be safe. They don't think about the safety. They just want to go on and being famous, and they put themselves, and you guys broadcast with your location settings on. That's not safe.
Ow.
And you invited the
Ouch.
entire creepo world is. So I want to tell you a story that all of the people in this broadcast know. Sean,
Can
you,
I, we've got, I'd say we've got 10 minutes before we have dinner.
okay,
But can I say one thing?
go ahead.
Did you say they are just in pain? What do you mean by they are just in pain? How are we in pain?
Oh, you're reacting to something that you did that has consequences.
That's not pain. That's anger. That's frustration.
That is how you're manifesting the pain. Your pain is being manifest by your anger.
Here's a good question. Are you afraid of other people seeing this stuff? I think that's probably Are you afraid of other people seeing the content that you shared being shared out by somebody else? Is that what you're afraid of, or are you just angry about that?
We're scared purely because
Meg,
we've seen what happens to people who have done stuff like this. Not like this, but for instance, what was her name? Amanda Todd.
oh god, I hate that.
Yeah, and Amanda is from my province. As a matter of fact, I'm connected to her mother. We discuss education stuff and building of the social media curriculum. So yes, that is something to be afraid of. And what brought that to bear is, and here's a great case. I'm going to take it you're at home right now.
Yes.
You're getting ready to go for dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do your parents know what you're doing right now?
No.
Exactly. That's part of what was the catalyst that hurt Amanda. She would broadcast from her room at night when her parents were asleep. She would connect in all of these spaces. She got lured into a conversation that she couldn't really get out of. She did something that she regretted. Somebody captured that and then used it as leverage to bully her to do the things that she didn't want to do. And bullying is the ability of one person to have power over another to get that person to do something that they don't want to do or are uncomfortable with. So at this point, you've created content that can't really be leveraged.
Can you please block this Meg girl?
Yeah, it's I've been trying to have Meg. She's very passionate about this subject because she's seen a lot of this really happen in a bad way, girls. So I'm trying to ask Meg to be careful with her comments. Yeah. And
but she can be kind about it. She doesn't all have to be negative or keep her.
Honestly, girls, she's seen a lot of this. She's a young girl herself.
This is also another thing. You are concerned about the opinions of others.
Yes,
right? You're concerned about the opinions of these people here that are commenting. So Ninja Meg being one of them. You're concerned about the opinion of others, complete strangers. So when you're getting ready to do a broadcast and you're wanting to create that conversation, to draw attention to yourself, to get a larger following, that same concern needs to come into play. And when you're sitting here in your, wherever you are, and your parents aren't aware that you're online talking to two people,
two adults that have it,
adults that you've never known.
Now, the adults have positive outcome desires with you, but we do not. You could be involved in a conversation with adults that do not have those kind of designs.
Exactly.
We could have ulterior motives to cause harm for you.
This platform is better because you can actually see us.
Yes.
Whereas Twitter, Periscope, what have you, you don't actually get to see the individual, so that individual won't necessarily be that person.
They just clicked out.
Yeah.
So maybe they're watching.
But I'm hoping that they're watching. I mean, I would have loved to have seen them go downstairs to their parents, come back upstairs with their parents, and say, "Hi, Mom, Dad. Here's Ryan and Sean." You know, I hope that the girls take a lesson out of this.
I hope so too.
You know, that and maybe use it to their advantage down the road to help educate themselves and say to their friends, you know, look, you know, this is what we did. Look what it became. And really, in the bigger picture, nothing really bad happened aside from the sex baiting.
So here she's coming back in again. So you know what? Let's pose that question. So girls, you can hear me. You may not be able to come into the room because this program is a little glitchy of late.
Yeah.
But Sean made a point that go enjoy your dinner and contemplate bringing your parents into this, your parents or caregivers into this conversation, because we'd certainly love to have the perspective of your parents on this kind of behavior and how it has played out thus far. I'm believe it's my, now that they checked out again, but I'm on the record. And I'm going to make the video available for them to hear. But there's two outcomes that can happen. I'll make myself available for their parents to come and participate in the conversation. If I extend that option, they can either respond or not respond. And if I'm a betting man, I am believing that the parents will not become part of this conversation, that this conversation is in the vault of the girls, that they don't want to take it to the next level of the transparency and accountability for this kind of decision.
Yeah, and that's not uncommon.
No, it's not uncommon. Not uncommon at all. That's why my messaging, Sean, is trying to get to parents.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to parents.
You know, maybe what you and I should be doing is a monthly broadcast together, just for parents. You know, it's sad to see what I've really enjoyed about teaching in the kids is I've seen some amazing stuff come out of them as far as content development. And you know, being digital natives, having grown up with this technology in their hands and the platforms in their hands, they're able to create some really spectacular stuff.
Do you mean now?
Sorry, girls, it's kind of hard to hear you.
Sorry, our Wi-Fi is really messing up recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At the nighttime in the UK, their bandwidth gets choked, and it's a pain in the neck in the UK.
What I would really suggest, girls, is that if you've got this following now, get creative. Do some really amazing content, something that shows off your, you know, a talent or a hobby that you do, your friends' stuff. Sorry?
Makeup skills or cooking.
Yes.
That's totally
absolutely
fine. Those are good skills. Do things that are safe that you can share with the world.
Here's a perfect
Megan,
one.
wait. Sorry, can I say something?
Yes.
Ninja Meg, what do you mean? What questions do you have for me?
Meg, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to let the girls.
No, Ryan. I want to know what she says.
I have to explain something. Meg is a lovely young lady, and she's really.
I bet she is.
Oh, hold on. Let me finish, please. And Meg is a 19-year-old girl, and she needs the involvement of an adult. She has some psychological things that she needs to deal with that I'm not going to talk about. So she needs to have my supervision, and she needs to have me being transparent with her parents regarding our conversation. So Meg is not a normal person coming into this broadcast. She's a lovely young lady. She's allowing me to help keep her behavior in check, and she's okay with that. But I don't want her to have her questions come forward. I'm trying to protect Meg at this point. I understand where her heart is, but there's certain things that she shouldn't be doing in this platform. So I have to keep her in check.
Right.
So I don't want her to ask you questions.
Girls, here's because I've been a social media business coach for a while as well. Here's one of the things that I would really suggest to you. You mentioned cooking. Oh my Lord, how much teenagers need to learn how to do that. Do you guys know how to cook?
Yes.
Do you like cooking?
I got
Yeah.
beauty and catering.
then girls, by all that is holy, please broadcast that. If you know as teenagers how to cook, you are going to be giving content out there that is so desperately needed. You can create your own channel
Yes.
with Periscope, with
Yes.
YouTube,
Yes.
and call it Teens Cook. Go whatever you want. You've built
And
the
girls,
platform.
I will help you bring that. I
Yeah.
will help you bring that public. I would rather.
Oh, Nate.
I've got a lot of people that follow me.
Yeah.
And
I
your
mean, I've got-
story is going to be, if you make the right choice, you can have a good group of people.
Yeah.
I at this point, I don't want to cause you damage. That's not my mission. My mission is you came in here and you owned what you did, and I'm going to take this as that conversation. I'm not going to push the video out. I'm not. I will pull it down. You're going to be clean.
Thank you.
Now, let me finish here. I'd like the ability that you can have this conversation with your parents to let this is your option. You have a conversation with your parents that something happened that became a little bit visible on the internet. You had a conversation with the people that helped speak wisdom into you to help you make better choices. And I make myself available, and I'm sure Sean would consider making himself available to have a conversation with them. That this is a little black mark that got caught before it could have been a worse black mark.
Yeah. And girls, if you take a look here on the feed, look what's happening right now. Is you've got people saying, hey, look, there's a new app called Nom for people who like to cook. Include recipes for making snacks that don't involve cooking. I mean, we've changed the conversation already.
Very, very good, Patricia. That was awesome.
That is it. This is the change factor, right?
Yep.
So where we've had something bad happen, and it's now our opportunity to leverage it and turn it into something positive. If you guys know how to cook, if you guys love how to cook, and I'm going to, because I work with cadets and I know how tight-knit girls can be, if you guys are spending all your time together, do it and create something amazing that can really start. Think of it. There are a lot of people out there that really take off online. And I'm sure that's exactly the part of the reason why you're doing this, is you're kind of looking for that opportunity to suddenly take off and reach a pinnacle of online celebrity.
Girls like Shawn Menendez.
Yeah.
Shawn Mendes.
Yeah. Take a look. Here you have a girl that
those kind
plays
of things.
the violin and makes $6 million a year on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like the kid, the 11-year-old kid, all he does is unbox toys and say how cool they are. $1.5 million last year. There's opportunities there.
There is opportunity.
If you guys in the UK, and I have friends and family in the UK as well who are just about their teenagers not being able to look after themselves. Their idea of a full course meal is Swiss cheese and a cracker. All right, if you guys can figure out the stuff that kids like and be able to broadcast that on Periscope, you're not going to get just the kids following you. You're going to get the parents following you. And the parents are going to say, hey, look, this is what you can do on your own when we're not around to cook for you. Or, oh my God, you're out on your own and now it's ramen noodles and soup. Here's your opportunity to be change makers yourself. That's where you can leverage this little mistake, but the following that you created into something else.
So here's the deal, girls. I know where some of the videos reside. I know some individuals on the internet that have possession of those videos.
Okay.
Based upon who I am, I can make the request and all of those videos will disappear. Okay? So that's the first thing that's happened. Mine are already gone. I've already scrubbed them. This video is going to remain because it shows a good example of what happens when people get in the crosshairs of making a poor choice and what it's like to have that conversation. So this is part of your journey that is going to be positive in your digital digital tattoo. This is a good thing.
This is the best first step.
It is the best first step. That's right.
I wish I could have more conversations with people your age.
I agree.
And
now
really,
the way to make it even
really make it happen.
better, the way to even make it better for yourselves is to include your parents in the conversation. Now, here's what I can tell you what could happen. If your parents,
they're going to lose their minds.
For a little bit. But if your parents are part of this conversation, there's several media platforms that want to see this kind of journey. So the Kobe Persons of the worlds, the Dr. Phils of the worlds, the other YouTube channels, but other live stream media. There's a TV show out there called The Internet Ruined My Life.
Yeah.
You have stepped ahead of that before it could have ruined your life. So if your parents become part of that conversation, you are now part of the media interest. And I will help you in that if you take that step.
Yeah.
And I mean, I teach high school students. I know where you're coming from.
I do too.
And I see it. It's not just you, and it's certainly not just you as far as this age. That was me, but I wasn't on social media 30 years ago. There weren't very many computers 30 years ago. Right? But I also have a 14-year-old son and a 9-year-old son. I have a 14-year-old son that I watch getting into his social media space, but I'm there with him. And you know, I'm taking that little bit of a journey with him. Trust me when I say the hardest thing that you're going to do is talk to your parents about this.
That's the hardest thing. It's horrible.
The most valuable thing you're going to do is talk to your parents about this.
Huge.
And then the next step is to say, look, here's what we learned. This is what we did. This is how we're going to change it. This is the thing that we can go ahead with. We love to cook.
Hey.
What can we do in order to make that a thing? And then the audience is going to change from the creepy guys who are looking at seeing you naked to the people that are actually going to want to learn how to cook. And that has way more value, because now you're no longer A, trying to hide the fact that you're doing this thing, and B, running the risk of getting caught in a trap that you can't get out of. Amanda got caught in a trap she couldn't get out of. And that's where things went sideways with her. And there would be nothing I would hate more in life than to see us have this conversation and then a year from now find out that that same thing happened to you. That would just be devastating. I think I would much rather see your name and the Random Tweets cooking page really take off. And I can go back and say, here's a change story.
Yep, that's a change
story. This is a story that we can share out with a larger audience that I can take to my kids. I'm actually teaching tomorrow. That I can take to my kids. I can even go so far as to say, you know, look, you're in the UK, so you're actually off school when we're, you know, you're at home and in the evening, we've got kids in school. We have a blab with you guys and my students and talking about what can be collaborated in that space.
So girls, this is my business. This is what I do to try to draw attention to parents on how dangerous it really is. And whenever I participate in it, the only thing that I experience is rebuke, spitting, hatred, filth, mind your own business. But what is happening is the unintended consequence is young children's lives are losing college scholarships. They're not able to get a job. Children are taking their life, or they're cutting themselves and they're doing other pieces of harm. There's a whole level of communication that's happening outside necessarily your visibility. You're very young. So I see this. I have a young daughter myself. She's 15 years old. I see it happen with her friends. I'm involved with her. And as a parent, it crushes my spirit to see these kids going after this celebrity, but not aware of the creepos that are out there doing some pretty nasty, evil, dangerous things to like the Amanda Todd kind of situation. I'm active on Periscope. I am defending and protecting young women and girls as much as I can. But there is a much more powerful force out there that is pushing them to make bad decisions. Now, I'm thankful that I caught you soon enough that you didn't show skin, and I'm not saying that you would have, but I don't know you, you're strangers, and I don't know what your morals and ethics are that you might have shown skin or maybe later have shown skin. So I'm thankful that I caught you now. I'm sorry this was as hard as it was, but as Sean points out, this is something that can be very powerful. Other people have rejected that ability to make that change my audience is familiar with those people that are out there still making bad choices.
Yeah.
It's going to affect their life forever. And it's
never, ever underestimate the influence of other people that are out there. And it's easy to say, oh, it'll never happen to me because I would never do that. But it's also really easy to entice people to do things that they might not otherwise have done. I like to think that I'm raising my boys to think in a much more straight and narrow way. My 9-year-old's a little bit crazy. No, he's a lot of bit crazy. He's a lot like me, which scares the hell out of me. But the fact is that there are a lot of people out there that have the ability to influence people to do things that they would not otherwise do. And that's the thing to avoid. If you can avoid the fight by avoiding the place where the fight's going to happen, that's the best way to handle a fight. So, I mean, we wouldn't be in this conversation if the thing that you had done had not happened at all. So I'm thinking right now, there's the lessons have been learned. You know, we started off in a somewhat aggressive standpoint. We've now come to a place where there's a much broader level of understanding, and we're walking away with a chance to turn that thing that happened into something that's really positive. I love the idea of you guys starting a cooking Periscope. That'd be smoking. Let's face it, the two things that took off on the internet or on social media when social media started to come about a decade ago, cats and food.
Cats and food.
Food.
Oh, I like your dog.
You know? And so it's a great thing.
So girls, when I do things on social media, this was a tough journey, but I'm gonna bring it all the way full circle. I start out a song from a recording artist named Toby Mac. I don't know if you know him. I encourage you to listen to him. I love Toby.
He's a Christian.
He is a Christian. So I speak life. I speak love. And I speak hope. And I know you don't think so, but I'm thankful that I am the guy that came into your broadcast, as opposed to some guy in Turkey that is going to be taking those videos and cross-purposing them and putting them up on the deep web and doing other nasty stuff. Because that's the reality of what happens on Periscope. Yeah. So
and the dark web is a place that you guys don't want to go.
You don't want to know. No. And we don't want even to talk about it. So it was tough to get to this point. I appreciate that you're willing to come here. I've honored that I've taken down the video. This is going to be part of your journey, this experience. And from my heart, I love you for having taken this step, as difficult as it was. And I ask you to see if you can contemplate having a conversation with your parents. I know that will be hard for a little bit. And I will speak the same. And I will speak affirmingly that you guys made a great choice after we went through this experience. Because that's what you did. That's what this is. This is a wise choice after coming out of it. The first one wasn't so wise.
But, you know, hey, if you didn't screw up, you wouldn't be teenagers.
That's correct.
Thank you too as well for actually trying or wanting to help us and come to our senses of what we've done, etc., and explain the situations in which we could get in and what other people have been in because of their poor choices.
You know what? I think the greatest thing that you can do for Ryan and I is go out there and be awesome and create something that everybody can use.
Yeah.
Oh, girls, I just typed in the link on the bottom right-hand side, facebook.com/parentdome. Your video is not there, but look at the videos that are. Look at the videos that are. And just to get a sense, what you did was not bad in the grand scheme of things, but look at what some of these people have done. And you might be shocked. And I'm not putting the bad stuff up there. This is bad. It's not the bad.
And I've thrown in my link as well. Oop. Oh, actually, I sent in the wrong one, didn't I? Hey, wow, this is like Monday part 3. Hang on a second. I'll get the right one in there. This is the
What?
page that I've set up to help educate kids and parents. But Parent Dome, trust me, that is a source.
Are you two linked, as in Facebook?
Nope.
If we
We met each other on Blab about 2 months ago, and I liked the stuff that Ryan was doing. We had a great chat on another person's Blab.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And I love Parent Dome stuff. I mean, he is a source of information that is so valuable. That's one that you want to be showing your parents for sure, because it helps educate them. And I
Really
think that's it's a beautiful thing. Where is my? Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at did you guys just take a look at random tweets? Look at Meg. Now, Meg has got a special place in my heart, and I have to keep her safe. But she's really happy that you guys have made this decision. She just said that she's really happy. So, and I'm very happy for you too.
There we go. There's the right one. So, girls, I'm out of here.
Go enjoy your dinner.
I'm gonna go and figure out what I'm teaching tomorrow.
What time is it?
You know, but go out, be awesome. And for God's sake, I catch you online.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that.
All right, Ryan.
I'm gonna close out the broadcast. Let me do this. I'm gonna close this out. Thank you, everybody, for joining in this conversation. I'm glad that the girls were able to have this open level of communication and understanding. I'm glad that Sean was able to join us and all those followers. I'm going to take this off the record. Anybody else that wants to pop in a seat and have a conversation with me, Meg, I'm going to keep you quiet over there, dear. But anybody else wants to come in and have a speak into me, totally open for it. Thank you very much, and it's going off the record.
Bye.